Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Mrs. Thompson. I'm Karen Thompson, a former food service director dietitian and retired family and consumer science teacher. Today, I'm going to make for you the absolute best ham you've ever had. I'm going to take this $20 ham and feed a mountain of people with it. It's early morning, so to get started, we need coffee. Have the ham out of the package. I patted it dry with paper towels. Also, be sure and take out, there's a little plastic disc over the bone to keep it from poking through the packages. You don't want to cook this. Now I'm going to use mustard as a binder. Shake it up a little bit to get my rub to stick. I'm just going to smear this all over. I've got a couple of tablespoons there. Just going to use my hands. They're clean. I wash them all the time. And this is just going to help my rub stick to the meat. Let's talk about the rub. The rub that I am using is a mixture that I have made myself. You can use, a commercial one, whatever you like. I kind of like this recipe. It's nothing but brown sugar, paprika, some celery salt, garlic, onion, and a little bit of liquid smoke to give it that smoky flavor. It will impart a really, really good flavor. Now, we are going to be putting this on I have a pellet smoker outside. Um, you can do this recipe in your stove as well. You might notice I've got a Boston butt over here. I'm going to do the exact same thing to it. I don't want to fire up the smoker only for one cut of meat. So I'm doing a little bit of meal prep. I'm going to smoke this for use at a later time. I'll use about half of this rub on the ham. I'll use about half of the rub on the butt over there. So I'm just going to pat it on there and put it on the smoker. So the ham is done. I'm going to do the same thing to the butt. Wash my hands again. You can do this in your oven, this ham, and it is wonderful. Typically, I would do it in my oven, but because I had a butt to smoke, I thought I'm just going to do it all out on the smoker. I've also done it on the smoker. Either way works really, really well. If you're going to do it in the oven, at this point, I would put about an inch of liquid in the bottom. Any juice, soda, I've seen people do it with Coke, works great. And cover it tightly with foil. Pop it in your oven about 250. We're trying to get the internal temperature up to about 220. It works in the oven just fine. Like I said, I'm putting these in the smoker. I've got my smoker set to 225 and I'm just going to let it go. Now, I'm not going to film it because it's still dark outside and I don't have light, and all I'm doing is putting meat on a grill. So I just pulled my ham off, took its temperature. It's about 160. So I pulled it to finish it. It's got a nice bark really going. So now what we're going to do is make the sauce that goes with it. To do this, I'm going to use about half a jar of apricot preserves, which is what I have here. I'm going to microwave this for, I don't know, 15 to 30 seconds just to soften that jam up and make it easier to combine with my barbecue sauce. 45 seconds in the microwave and it's much more liquidy. It's going to be a whole lot easier to combine with barbecue sauce. Use your favorite. I like Casey Masterpiece, whatever your favorite is. I'm going to add about an equal amount to my preserves and just combine. Give this a good stir. To the bottom of the pan, I want some liquid. I'm just going to use apple juice. I've seen people use Coke. Any drink will work. All I'm putting in is about a half an inch. Just want to keep this moist, maybe a quarter of an inch. Now I'm going to slather my barbecue sauce on the top, and I will not be using all of this right now. I want to save some more for when it comes off. I used maybe half of the sauce. I'll put the rest on the meat after I've pulled it. Oh, I just want to pull off a piece and eat it so bad, but I'm not going to. I'm going to tint this with foil and put it back on the grill. This is going to go back on my smoker. If you're using an oven, back in the oven. I'm going to raise the temperature to about 300, and I want my meat to come off when it's around 205 to 210, and that will be the perfect temperature to pull the meat. The ham is done. I took it out at 205 temperature. Had to finish it in the oven because I ran out of pellets for my smoker, but doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness. Gloves. Let's talk about gloves for just a second because these things are game changers. I can remember smoking lots of meat and forking it, and it would take forever. Game changers. Got these on Amazon. I went with the Oklahoma Joe's brand. Well, I like Oklahoma. I'm from there originally, but they had a thicker mill. They were a little bit thicker than some of the other brands. They also come with these disposable liners, and that's going to protect your hands. So let's get it out of the juice. I'm not going to throw all that deliciousness away. Juice, brine, whatever you want to call it, is full of flavor, and I want to save it, but it also has a good bit of fat in it that I don't want. So I'm going to just pour it, chill it, and pop off the fat. All right, let's get to shredding. I'm not going to lose any of the bark, nothing like that. I'm just going to shred it right into my pan. Look, the bone just pulls out. Simple. There. And then I can take and just pull it. I'm going to pull the whole ham like that. I don't know if you can see, there's still some steam coming off the ham. You really want to pull meat while it's still quite warm. It's so much easier rather than chilling it. The gloves with the liners, I'm feeling well, I feel that it's hot, but it's not hot. The very last thing we're going to do to this is pour the rest of our apricot barbecue glaze over the top and stir it in. I'm just going to use my hands to mix it. It's so much easier. Now, tomorrow, after my pan juices have cooled and I've flipped the fat off, depending on this, I might pour it on. It too is full of flavor. Look at all that meat from one ham. This is going to feed an army. Okay, let's have an official taste. I say official because I've tasted it while I was pulling it. Let's just grab a piece of that. I can't begin to tell you how good it is. This is the best way to cook ham. I'd say it's the best ham I've ever had, but I've cooked several like this, and it is so amazingly good. My family loves it, and I think yours will too. Please like, share, follow, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Cooking with Mrs. Thompson, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You guys have a great evening, great day. Thanks.